All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Tales of Adventure. We are welcoming a lovely guest tonight who is our good friend known online as AnAwkwardRaven, and she makes some very cool stickers herself, way amazing than mine. I am still trying to work out how to even use the machines. And she is joining us tonight to tell a very cool tale of smuggling and adventure along the Triboar Trail. Would you like to tell us just a little bit about the character who gets to come join us tonight?
Sure, thank you, by the way. My stickers are not near as good as yours. Um, but Pete, as you can see by the picture, is a Goblin Rogue. Her real name is Petunia, but if you call her by her real name, she will never forgive you or trust you. She goes by Pete, and most people call her Sneaky Pete because she's sneaky. Uh, she is a smuggler and just kind of like the all around like fun, funny character.
Awesome. Yes. And I hear she has a very cool family that she hangs out with when she is not smuggling some mysterious magical objects.
Yes, she has her smuggling crew, a crew of 4 people, including her, that she works with primarily. They're made up of Papa Bear on the left, Erlin, and Lovely. Only Erlin goes by his real name. Everybody else has nicknames.
Awesome. All right. Well, today, Sneaky Pete is going to go on quite the crazy adventure as she has heard rumors that a fabled magical dagger has resurfaced near the region of Phandelin. Now, this dagger is said to have some very unique magical properties if the bearer can attune to it. Supposedly, it has been forged from rare metals pulled from the Shadowfell, and perhaps it was even forged by the goddess Timora herself. However, none of this lore can be confirmed to be true, and everyone you ask weaves a slightly different tale. However, sometimes the value in magical items is in the telling itself, not so much in whether or not it's true. And if she can get her hands on that dagger, it might just be worth a pretty penny. And so she is going to go sneaking off and trying to find what is known around the region of Neverwinter as the Whisper Dagger. Because that's all you hear before it thunks into your back. And so she needs to head up off the Triboar Trail to try to figure out where exactly this dagger is supposedly located. She's heard rumors that perhaps near the Wyvern Tor, but if that's true, she's got quite a dangerous adventure ahead of her. Now, as we know, Phandelin lies in the southeast corner of the Triboar Trail. Also known as the Cutoff or Coney Gap, this stretch of foothills and rolling, sparsely wooded plains extends between the high road to the west and the distant town of Triboar, from which such the trail gets its name. And after a few days of travel, Sneaky Pete does spy that prominent landmark that gets the rugged hills of the Sword Mountains. Easily visible from several miles away, travelers near Coneybury often catch glimpses of the Wyvern Tor to the south as they travel. Now, long ago, the Tor was home to a band of wyverns, and they do say orcs once lived there too, but perhaps another band of adventurers dealt with them. We shall see. But one thing that you do notice, oh Sneaky Pete, is that something seems to be following you as you travel north along the Triboar Trail. And it's not being sneaky at all.
No.
What do you do
Okay.
next?
Pete would turn towards it. Does it seem like it's behind like a rock or a tree or something?
It does seem like it's trying to be sneaky a wee bit behind rocks and trees, but it's so terribly bad at it that Sneaky Pete can tell from the fallen rocks and rubble and moving brush that it's still somewhere out there behind boulders and rubble and whatnot.
Okay. I think Pete would try to hide from it and sneak up behind it and see what it is or who it is that's following her.
Okay. Well, it definitely thinks it's still got eyes on you.
She doesn't always want to confront things if she doesn't have to.
We'll see if that works this time. It's not a particularly smart creature, but there's a lot of rocks and rubbles around, so let's see if Sneaky Pete can live up to her name. Will you roll me a stealth check?
For sure. I have my dice in front of me, but I forgot to get one out.
No
I'm
worries.
so smart. That ADHD life, yo. Ooh.
I can definitely relate.
That would be 26.
Oh, Sneaky Pete is very sneaky.
She's pretty sneaky.
And that creature doesn't quite notice she's there until she comes up right close to it and finds this. And she might not know what it is, depending on how much time she spent learning about goblin lore. But that's a nilbog. And it may have once been a goblin, but something has twisted it into something new. If she gets very close, she may hear it muttering to itself a little bit insanely.
I guess. Sorry, I missed that last little bit.
That's okay. If she's super close to the nilbog, she may hear it muttering to itself a bit insanely, like a Mad Hatter.
Okay. I guess she'll pull out her rapier and get real close to it and go like, "What do you want?"
Muttering back to her, it will say, "Oh, sneaky, sneaky, where are you going? Trying to sneak up on me, eh? Well, well, curiouser and curiouser. I want to know what you're going, eh? Why you headed up to that tor?"
I think I'm the one that just snuck up on you. Whoever you are. Why are you following me if you don't know where I'm going?
He looks at you very interestingly, goes, "A puzzler, a puzzler. I do like a puzzler. Well, well, the Nameless wants to know more about you. A goblin that smells like a halfling. What are you, and what are you doing here? Wants to know. Well, it's going up the trail, that's what it was doing. I wonder, where else could it be headed? It said not the tor. Not off to that other thing, are you, that sings in the dark? Dangerous up there, you know. Not smart, but maybe it's tricksy. Hard to say." And goes off and keeps muttering to itself.
Weirdo.
That's a fair assessment.
Now?
At this point, it's sort of sneakily wandering around Sneaky Pete and trying to get quite a good look at her, assessing her appraisingly. almost as if it's deciding if she's worthy in some way.
She'll like look back at it like the same way, like still with her rapier out, like, what, do you know something?
Oh, we know all the somethings, dearie. Depends. You got stuff to trade? We do like things.
What kind of things?
Is it sparkly? We like sparkly things.
She like pulls out like a copper from her coin purse. Like that?
Oh, more sparkly. We like the bright, sparkly ones.
I don't have much sparklier than this. I'm working on it, but this is about the best I got.
Well, fine then. What's it you want to know? And he grasps the copper away from you.
You mentioned it's dangerous up there. What's so dangerous about it?
There is this strange something. Never shows its face see, but it's always lamenting, always singing out there in the darkness. Don't want to know much about it. It's strange creature. Big danger. Don't want to go up there, do you? Nope.
Well, how is it dangerous?
Whatever goes out there looking for it never comes back, see. I'd call that big danger.
Well, maybe I'll be the first to come back. Bye! She starts walking away.
He is definitely very confused about that. And I see that my pictures have rebelled on me, so give me a second to cycle back through to where we should be. That was very interesting. They were just like, I'm going to play fast forward.
No worries.
Ignore.
I see nothing.
Definitely ignore that. See nothing. No. Spoilers. Okay, there we go. We will try again. Try again, guys.
Also, hi, Harm.
Okay. Well, he's definitely going to keep... I know, naughty. Bad computer. There it goes. All right. So he is certainly going to try, for now, to follow you a wee bit longer, almost as if whatever or whomever this is fascinated by you in some strange way or form. And so every now and again, you'll notice that he is dashing off the Triboar Trail in a specific direction that is most certainly not towards the Wyvern Tor.
Okay. I guess I'll just keep going. Do I know, like, what is my next stop?
Well, you can always head up to the Tor and see what is there, but you can also try to figure out what it wants, or if it is trying to guide you in a specific direction.
Okay. Because you said that it keeps ducking, like, away from where I was going, right?
Yes. But but it's almost
Okay.
like he wants
I
you
guess
to follow.
I'll turn back to it and be like, uh,
Okay.
Pete's not the brightest bulb, so she'll look at it and be like, "What are you doing? What's with the zigzaggy? You're not sneaky."
He will answer by saying simply, "Not's my job to be the sneaky one. That's for yous, you sneaky rogues. It's my job to do all the tricksies. So come follow me. Big fun now. Come, this way." Do you,
Wow, what's that way? What's the funsies?
oh, no spoilers.
Pete's like, fine. Start following him.
And you may chase him for a fair distance, but eventually you arrive to a dark cave entrance, and you can barely see inside if you're simply standing at the door. It seems very narrow from the outside, and almost as if it doesn't go very deeply in. You're not sure how far back it goes. You only know that it's very dark and seems very narrow and shallow. Do you go inside?
Good thing she's small. Why not? Start creeping in.
Okay. And once you get inside, you realize the Nilbog, or whatever that really was, has vanished. Instead, you discover a quite large, dank cave system. Water is dripping down from the stalactites and stalagmites. Small pools are gathered in corners, and whatever that is growing up and down the walls, whether mold or fungi, well, it's glowing and it doesn't seem friendly for some strange reason.
I wouldn't normally think of like friendly or unfriendly for that, anyways. um, she'll, I guess, like keep her rapier at the ready and just like keep sneaking through the caves, going like, "Hello, where'd you go? Hello."
If you're listening closely, you may just hear a cackling voice off in the distance. And it might be that Nilboggen trying to lure you deeper into this cave system. And he just giggles, trying to lure you deeper in. Do you decide to follow?
Can I at all tell like what direction the giggling is coming from?
Roll perception.
I'm okay at that. 19.
Okay. I did not provide you with a map, so I am going to say, looking at this picture, that it is northward-ish from the best that we can assess, since we don't really have a directional system here today. It would not be to the east or the west wings of that picture, and it's certainly not the exit. It is deeper in. However, there are also other corridors branching off from that direction. So you will have to kind of figure out, is it directly north or is it from one of the other northward passages?
Pete will just go straight ahead.
Okay.
She's gonna wing it.
Of course, naturally.
She'll be like,
Anything
if
for
I
a
need to
cool
leave, I
dagger.
just turn around and walk straight back.
All right. So
Or a
as
fun story for the crew later. Sorry,
fun,
my cat's attacking me.
that's okay. Pets are welcome interruptions. Last week we had a very cute puppy. It's true. Patrick's in the chat. He can
I have a
confirm.
cute puppy too.
We should just have weekly pet time instead of D&D. So as you're walking through this cave system, trying to chase that voice, you're noticing that whatever water or liquid is puddling off of the ceiling is actually a bit acidic, and a bit lands on you, just a wee bit. And as it touches you, you're realizing that it burns and it's not quite very pleasant. And I'm afraid that I will need a con saving throw against green slime.
Oh no. Okay.
Yes, indeed. Sorry.
That's only 6. He doesn't have the best constitution.
Okay, so you rolled a 6.
Yeah.
That is okay. All right. 6 for 6. You took 6 acid damage. So not too terrible, although I didn't ask about hit points before we started. So hopefully I did not hurt you
I
too
forgot
bad.
to ask about what level.
Oh, that's okay. We were just going with bring a character and don't die. So no stress.
Well, that was more than half my hit points.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Maybe
but
some
you know
stress.
what? It's
She's
one of those
switching.
days, because I killed a character twice today in my Saltmarsh game. So you know what? We're 0 for 2 right now. Let's just make it 0 for 3. It's all good.
I'm a squishy rogue, guys. I've only got 10 hit points at level 1.
Oh. Although for a level 1, 10 hit points is pretty good. It could be worse. Anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
On that note, let's add a healing potion to our treasure chest. It's all good. You'll find lots of cool stuff today. I promise.
Yay.
Yay. It'll be worth almost dying from slime. Alright,
Just falling
what
off the
do we
ceiling.
from the chat?
What a way to go.
Hey GM, what do we need to do to get this PC potion? Pretty please never helps, never hurts.
Follow. Subscribe.
We do have a magical river right here. It could just turn into a healing river, like. To be fair, Patrick, you know all about Saltmarsh. Those dum-dums are not that low, and they still kill each other off. You know what I'm talking about, okay? This is Corey's server. I'm surprised they haven't killed each other yet. Like, today was the first time after 3 months. I was like, oh, they finally managed to do it.
Oh,
it was spiders, okay?
Every now and then I read the recap, so I'm like, that sounds like fun.
They killed each other with spiders. How? Anyways. This is what happens when you get within the range of each other's spells. And we're moving on. So, you come across a river that you need to cross. To the north, you continue to hear that sound of a cackling voice. But to the west, you hear a sad lament. And it's sung by a beautiful female voice. And you're tempted to follow it as it is quite alluring. And you're not quite sure which way to go.
Well, this Nilbog did say that the voice was dangerous. But I don't know if I really trust this Nilbog, because he's being a little butt right now. So I'm going to roll for it and see what Pete does. Pete follows the cackling.
Okay. And you have two choices to do so because you're going north. Do you step into the water or do you try to follow along those rock ledges?
I'll reach down, and she's very proud of her boots, so she's not going to dip her boots in. But she will reach her hand in and, like, touch the water and see, like, how cold it feels, or, like, if it feels like there's something off with it.
Okay. It is not freezing cold the way a snow melt river would be. We are not that close to the cold lands. However, it is cool to the touch in the same way a cave system river water would be, or a freshwater spring. It will be chilly to get in,
Okay.
but it won't hurt her, and she certainly wouldn't take a level of exhaustion.
Okay, good. Okay, she would go across the river
Okay,
after she's deemed it safe.
indeed. It's quite fresh considering how toxic some of the flora has proven to be here. And she's noticing that if she wanted to, she can even fill her water skiing here. And as she moves across and following that cackly voice, she's realizing that the acid burn on her shoulder is starting to feel a lot better. And she just got back 5 hit points.
Well, yeah, I definitely filled my water skiing with that. I, like, dump it out and refill it.
Yep, something's changed these waters a little bit, giving them a little bit of something extra. Okay. Now, unfortunately, that cackling Nilbogid has taken you on a merry chase. And it does seem that he is luring you back around to that lamenting voice. And you start to hear it once more. And it is singing such a sad tune of loss. And you're tempted to just go ahead and figure out what's going on in there. Especially as you're starting to sense a magical aura. It's quite faint, and you're recognizing it's difficult to catch on to, but it's still there nonetheless.
Okay, she'll go towards it cautiously.
Okay. As you tiptoe in, you find that a narrow opening reveals yet another set of carved limestone steps, this time leading downward into a larger open cavern. The ceiling seems to disappear 30 feet above you, and the far wall of the chamber cannot be seen in the darkness. At the foot of the stairs, a statue of a gnome holds a glowing lantern. Several more statues can be seen scattered around, and they're quite old and damaged, as if they too have been encountering a bit of that green slime eating away at their exterior. What do you do next?
She would keep going and like listening for the singing again and try to follow it and figure out where it's coming from.
Yes. It is much louder here, although
and keeping away from slime.
Good call. Yeah, watch out for slime. It packs a punch. So here the voice is significantly louder. However, because of how large the cavern is, the music bounces off the walls, and it will be much harder to pinpoint the exact location of the voice. But you are confident that it's here somewhere within the cavernous walls.
Okay. I guess what do I do? She'll start like creeping around the room, looking in crevices. And you mentioned there were statues. Is that what you said?
Yes. You know one of them
She'll
is a
investigate
gnome.
them.
Okay, yes, please.
Okay.
Roll investigation.
Okay. She's not very good at that.
That's okay.
Oh, she rolled 13. That's
Excellent. Okay. So you're seeing at least 14 different statues around the cavern. Some seem to be human adventurers, or at least humanoid. Others are orc, goblin, or even something that could be a prospector from Phandelin. All are aging and cracked. These statues are covered in lichen, and you're observing that some have expressions of shock or surprise.
See, Raven Brain goes, I feel like I know what this is. Pete's brain will be like, what the heck? What is this? Why would somebody carve all these statues with like this shocked expression? It's a weird artistic choice. I guess she would try and see, does it seem like all of the statues are looking in the same direction?
No, they are not. However, if Pete were to study particularly closely, she might notice that the statues all seem to be gazing at the same height, as if they were pinpointing a particular object when they were frozen in time, or carved, perhaps. Even those who are much shorter or much taller than one would expect, for example, an orc or a gnome, they're all gazing at the same exact pinpoint in space, whether it be over here or over here. It's the same plane. Medusa Novo, yeah. Anyone can be an artist if you try hard enough.
Yeah. What else did you say was in the cavern again besides the statues?
The gnome at the foot of the stairs is holding a lantern.
Okay. I guess she would go and like pick up the lantern to try and help her like look around more.
Oh, I know where it is. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask. My brain was like, you forgot your sticky note. And needed to look that up right now. You understand. Okay. So yes, as you
Yeah.
pick that up,
No,
you're
I get
noticing,
it.
right? You're noticing a slight aura coming off of that, almost as if it has a magical ability. Do you decide to light the lantern? Oop, too far.
Hell yeah.
Of course. As you do so, you realize
Yeah,
that
why wouldn't he?
right? Um, as you do so, you realize that it has the abilities of a lantern of revealing.
Okay. What does it reveal?
As you look about the room, tell me what you decide to shine that lantern upon, and I will tell you what is revealed.
I guess she'll kind of like just scan around the room, looking at all of the statues again.
Okay. So, as you look around the room at all of the statues, you are realizing that while many of them are cracked and broken, my brain decided to switch letters there, I'm sorry. While many of them are cracked and broken, at least one is
That's
not.
okay.
One is perfectly intact. And while it may not be a recent acquisition, it is pristine. And a halfling.
Does it look like, is there like slime above it?
It's
Oh, it's a
difficult.
halfling?
It is a halfling. As for slime, it's difficult to tell in the darkness, but as far as you can tell, no, there is no slime nearby.
Okay. I guess I'll go up to the halfling and look at it more and be like, what's up with this one? Why is it so nice?
Okay. Coming up to it, unfortunately, you are not able to immediately determine why it would be nice on the others, except that perhaps it was just in a prime position to avoid damage.
Okay. I guess Pete would just like shrug and go, well, that's weird. And start looking around the room again and start like peering the lantern in like different crevices and stuff.
In a deep, dark corner, Pete discovers that there's a figure hiding back there. And the more she focuses that lantern, the more Sneaky Pete realizes that figure is a woman. And the woman appears like this. A hood obscures her face, and she seems to have covered a cloth across her eyes. And there's something odd about her hair, but it's obscured by the hood, and Sneaky Pete cannot immediately tell what could be going on there. And she is singing that lament.
Yes, Pete would like try and look at her, be like, why are you hiding back here? What what's that song? I've never heard it before.
Oh, she sighs, stopping her song. I'm simply so sad because I cannot make any friends. And certainly I have not yet fallen in love. And I so desperately want to find a companion. Perhaps, would you be willing to stay with me for just a little while? I could make you some tea or refreshments to ease your journey through these caverns.
Well, this is kind of a weird spot to stop and make tea. There's like acid falling from the ceiling.
Oh, the mold. Well, it grows everywhere here. I'm afraid there's not much I can do to stop it. But, well, the waters here are clean, and don't you like tea?
It's alright.
Well, I'm afraid I can't make much else, but perhaps you would like food instead.
Yeah, I could eat. Sure, why not? I'm Pete.
Hello, Pete. That is quite a nice name. And she turns to make you...
You'd be the first to say that. But thank you.
You notice her smile shyly, with her face still turned away. And she goes to make you some refreshments. They include some rolls, a bit of cheese, and some fresh vegetables and fruits from the nearby regions. And then she brings them over to you on a metal platter. And as she bends close to give you the plate of food, you notice a soft whispering sound that seems to be coming from beneath her hood. But she turns away quickly, and you can't be quite sure what that sound was.
Were you just whispering something?
No, just...
Sorry, I missed that. What did you say?
Just humming to myself, she says, looking embarrassed.
Ah. Oh, okay. Pete would be like, this is all really nice, but why do you have it here? Why are you here? I'm looking for something. Why are you here?
Well, the caverns are my home for now. I've been lonely for so long, but it's hard to find acceptance
Well, you
out
live
in
in
the
a
world.
cavern. Of course you're lonely.
Yes, but the world is dangerous too, and sometimes it is nice to be here. What are you looking for?
Pete stops and she's like, maybe I said too much. And she'll try and size up this mystery woman that's feeding her and try and figure out how honest she can be with her. Like if it's risky to tell her the truth of what she's looking for.
Roll for insight.
Okay. 13.
Patrick, to be fair, you chose that life.
Pete's a daredevil. She seeks out danger. The more
I
dangerous it is, the more fun.
laugh in the face of danger.
Yeah.
Okay. No comments. All right. What did we roll for insight?
Oh, sorry, 13.
Excellent. All right. Sorry. So, unfortunately, her deception was not so great. So, as you're looking her over, you may realize that it would be a terrible idea to give her too much information about why you're there or even who you are. She is being almost too kindly. In that way, a honey trap will try to lure you in before it then gobbles you up. And so, what does Sneaky Pete do next?
I guess she'll like have like a piece of fruit up to her face, and then she'll stop and like, and just like think.
Well, I was looking for something, and then this like little goblin-y thing, like me but not, started taunting me, and so I followed it, and now I'm here. I guess now I'm just trying to get out.
Ah, she will say, yes, those Nilboggen. So sad they have to be possessed by that nameless trickster deity. They always have such strange powers, and they always drive others to do the opposite of what they truly want to do. I wonder, could he have lured you here because it was the opposite of what you were meant to do today?
I wouldn't know. I mean, you're not what I was looking for, so I guess. But it's nice to meet you.
Sometimes we do find the best things on the way to the greatest adventures.
It's not always the destination, sometimes it's the journey.
Exactly.
But in this case, the destination will be good.
She seems a bit befuddled by this, but counters with, yes, this could also be true. I think I see your point. Very well, then. Can I do anything else to help you while you are here? Perhaps even convince you to stay a while?
Well, I should be going, but I could maybe swing by on my way back if you want. But I still don't know why you're here. There's way nicer places without acid.
Oh, do stay a while. It will be so lonely once friends are gone, and it has been nice to chat, even though you are so mysterious. Can't I convince you to stay?
No, sorry, I gotta go.
And as you're moving to leave, that is when she stands up and says, very well then, if I can't convince you, I will just have to make you. And she starts to move to remove her blindfold and her hood. And that whispering, hissing sound starts to get a bit louder. How does Sneaky Pete respond?
Could I do? Would it be like a nature or like a history check to see if Pete has any idea of what she is or what's about to happen?
Yes. I'll let you decide, either in history or nature, because both would get you the answer you're looking for.
They're both no bonus, so just a straight roll.
It's okay.
Ooh, I got 17.
Oh, nice. Okay. Giving those hissing sounds and the clues with the blindfold, you're realizing that you're most definitely facing a Medusa. It would not go well for you to face such a creature at this current time, unless you're very clever. After all, she inadvertently gave you a very important tool that might just save your life.
I was just thinking that. Pete would, upon hearing the like hissing, would grab the platter that the food was on and throw it up in front of her face.
And as she pulls down that blindfold and attempts to freeze you in place, she accidentally looks back at herself, turning herself into stone. And there she stands, so they say.
Pete would like cautiously like peek out.
And sees nothing but yet another statue.
Pete will put the platter down and like pat her arm, go,
Thanks for the food.
start trying to leave again.
As Pete turns to go, something in the corner catches her eye, and she realizes the Medusa had quite the treasure hoard, all of her own, perhaps stolen from previous adventurers or just collected over the years as shiny bits and baubles. There's some pretty valuable items here in this cavern. Does she go check them out?
Pete would look.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting items that is pulled from that stack of various weaponry and armor is a tube, and opening it up, she finds a scroll of stone to flesh. And this spell could very well revive that halfling statue that remains intact, if cast correctly.
Oh. Pete would try.
Okay. And lucky you, it does work. And the halfling comes to life, recognizing Snaky Pete from his own childhood. But unfortunately, that halfling makes a mistake. And he doesn't call Pete by her preferred name. He says Petunia. Because it's been quite a while since he last saw his childhood friend, and he doesn't quite realize that, well, Sneaky Pete is all grown up and has earned herself a much cooler name than Petunia.
She'll probably not recognize him right away and like throw her rapier up and be like, "What did you call me?"
He'll put his hands up and go, No, Toonie, it's me. It's your friend. Remember? From back home. What you doing? I don't understand. I thought you were helping me. I've been stuck here forevers.
Nobody calls me Toonie anymore.
And she'll like look at him closer, like,
What the heck?
put her rapier away.
What are you doing here?
Well, got's me stuck here, obviously. Been here's forever. That dang singer, she did something to me, and I've been stuck here ever since.
She'll like point to the new Medusa statue, be like,
That lady.
Yeah, that's the one. She was so nice. She gave me tea.
Yeah.
And then she did something, and I got stuck here.
She turned you to stone, dude.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds right. Not good, though.
No, you're lucky that the acid crap didn't fall on you.
Is that what
That's
that
the only
stuff
reason
is?
I was able to turn you back.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, it hurts.
well, thank you. Yeah, that stuff does hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. But the water in the river is great.
Ooh. Okay. I don't remember there being a river last time.
What year do you think it is?
And he will spout out some year that is most definitely not this one, and is probably about 5 years ago.
Oh. Yeah. Like, things have changed. But you know what? Why don't you join me?
And
then once I go get my thing, and then I can help you get home.
he will nod and follow along as you continue to check things out amongst the cavern. While looking through the loot, you will also discover a ring of invisibility that may become helpful as you continue your smuggling operation. And of course, you will also discover that greatest prize of all, the Whispered Dagger. And as you're examining it, you find that many of those rumors are in fact true. That it is forged from uncanny metals only found in the Shadowfell, and that it does seem to contain unique properties. For when you practice throwing this perfectly balanced +1 weapon, you find that you are able to transform into shadow, merging with the blade and teleporting instantly to that impact site across the cavern wall. And then you rematerialize 5 feet within the blade where you threw it. You realize as well, as you start to attune to that weapon, that if you were to critically hit an opponent, they would need to take a wisdom saving throw, taking additional psychic damage and becoming frightened of you for an additional minute. It's a very valuable weapon, and perhaps you may keep it with you instead of selling it. But your mission is accomplished.
Pete will like hold the dagger and start going.
I could be rich, or even more sneaky.
Indeed, it will be a tough choice for Sneaky Pete. Indeed, indeed. Especially with a ring of invisibility on her side. But either way, the two of them are able to get out of those caverns safely and make their way back to Phandelin with quite the adventure to tell their fellow smuggling friends. All right. I wonder.
Very cool.
What story would you tell them?
She would probably embellish it a little bit.
Nice.
Make it sound a little bit more intense than just sitting and having tea and then being like, oh shit!
That is awesome. All right. Well, I know we're running close on time, but are you open to pulling a couple questions from our lore jar before we wrap things up for tonight?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We already have one question, Is our player character a bard?
No, she is a rogue.
Yes, Sneaky Pete is a rogue. Although I'm curious, someday when Sneaky Pete grows up a wee bit and takes a few levels, what kind of archetype would she have?
Oh, see, I originally thought, thief, because that, fits. Um, but alternatively, possibly scout. The scout would be fun for her too.
Yeah, that would be cool. Okay. So, first question I pulled, and anyone in the chat is welcome to throw questions in there as well. Feel free. I love it when you all throw in some cool questions for us. What is your favorite race, class, subclass, etc. to play in Dungeons & Dragons or any tabletop RPG?
Oh, I tend to lean towards rogues, but warlocks are very cool too.
Nice.
I'm trying to think what has been my favorite to play. I did make a cleric once for Descent into Avernus campaign. That was super fun to play. She was a Tempest Domain cleric, and it was a lot of fun. So probably like rogue, warlock, and cleric would be like my top three, just from experience.
Nice. Those are all very fun choices. Oh, I see. We were hoping for a song about the Nilboggen that they followed into the cave. Something tells me that wouldn't be a polite song, though.
I don't know if you want to hear Pete sing. If her talking voice is any clue, her singing voice is not the most pleasant. Yeah.
Yes. I was thinking more like, would this be a clean version? Or...
Ooh. Probably not.
Yeah. Which is okay. We all have those moments. All right.
There would be some colorful language thrown in.
He was an interesting character. Okay, we kind of already answered that one, so I'm going to skip it. It was just asking about race and class for Sneaky Pete. Which...
Oh, yeah.
We've covered that one. Okay. Okay. So, I will answer that one next, Juki Holic, because I think that one is an excellent question. But I'm also curious, since Sneaky Pete was raised by halflings instead of goblins, does this give her any unique or distinguishing features that would make her seem different from other goblinoids? It could be something physical or a personality trait that helps her stand out a little bit. What do you think?
Probably more personality, because like physically, she is a goblin. I think the only thing weird is her heterochromia. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, she's a goblin. But personality-wise, she's a bit more like she's pretty happy-go-lucky. Likes to mingle with the other like standard races that you find in most towns and villages. Doesn't really know many goblins, so she doesn't know like whatever their etiquette or how they would handle things is. She handles things kind of like a halfling.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
That's all she knows.
Yes, I love that. That is actually one of the reasons why I picked a Nilbog to kind of add some flavor to the trail time, because I was curious how Sneaky Pete would handle that, whether she would recognize what that was, or would she just sort of be like, oh, it's a weird looking something or another. So I just kind of wanted to throw a little chaos into that mix there and see what would happen. So that was fun. Okay, so
Yeah, she was
last
pretty
question.
clueless. She's like, it's like me, but not. I don't know.
That's okay. All right. So our last question, and then we will wrap things up for tonight. And it's a question for both of us, which is nice. Did we have fun?
So much fun. I did
Yes.
anyways. That was great.
I definitely did too. I always say that it's a good game session if we're laughing. As long as there's laughing, we're okay.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course. Thank you for coming on and hanging out with all of us tonight. And thank you for our chat, who is so very chatty. I always love it when people are giving us comments and questions and whatnot. So we'll be back with Tales of Adventure in 2 weeks with another awesome guest. But if any of you all friends want to hang out and do watercolor, we will be back for watercolor on Tuesday afternoon. So that will be that. Yay. So I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Thank you again for joining us. And we will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.